What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Clown blog. Supposed to be inside the gym right now, but my stomach is upset. So I'm gonna finish doing this video. I think it's too late. And then we'll get out of here. 100K play, right? Out of Florida. I was a little bit grumpy on my Instagram today, and people were like, "What's happening, Erica?" And so today I did about 75 phone calls and a 90-minute massage. Yeah, it's been a full day. Um, Part of what I'm to name this video, evictions, banking, and all that good stuff, is just to kind of give you an update, right, on what real business is like. A lot of people in the comments are always like, "Oh, Erica, you're just like a property manager. You're not doing nothing." And this just shows you the lack of intellect. Let's just go there with the majority of people who are watching videos. They don't understand. And that's okay, but we're going to educate them. So today, part of my 75 calls were to hard money lenders, to contractors, to all kind of people. Prime example, kicked the first of the day off. They tried to send me a bill for $650. I said, "What is this bill for?" "Oh, we're going to clean this apartment that's already been empty a month at this point." I said, "Okay, it only costs $100 to get a cleaning crew in there to do apartment clean. What is this $650 for?" "Oh, well, the contractor's got to come in and do that." "Okay, unless you give me a detailed invoice, can't approve this. Sorry. Sorry." Then they get pissy. They get real pissy. They go, "Well, you can go, outsource your own cleaning crew." I said, "Okay, no problem. I'll do that. But again, you still need to give me an invoice if you're going to try to charge me." "Okay, well, the contractor's going to come and change the locks on the doors. He's going to come snake the drains in the bottom of the basement. He's going to come do A, B, C, D, F, G." "Oh, okay, great. How hard was that for you to come up with that answer when you first sent me this email and you sent me pictures of a clean apartment, right? Why are you charging me $650 for an apartment that's clean? Get out of here. I can call a cleaning company within an hour in Cleveland and have it cleaned." Okay, this is the stuff you were, watch your pennies. They make dollars. If you didn't get to see the couponing Queen Pins movie, please watch it. It's hilarious. Um, that's where that reference comes from. Another thing happened today. We have two evictions pending in Detroit that actually might finally wrap up this Monday. So I was going to fly to Detroit on Friday, but now that it might be Monday, I might not Monday, Tuesday, because Monday's a national holiday, Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, which is a horrible historical moment for Texas where they kept people enslaved for 2 more years. Just a little reminder. And now that I know that, I said, "Well, I'm going to fly into Detroit and I'm going to see with my own eyeballs this woman finally get out." Okay? Get out. You've been there 3.5 years living rent free. Well, let's be honest, it's more than 3 years at this point. Since October 2019, living rent free. The government subsidizing some of it, all kind of crap. So now that's finally pushed to the brink of I'm about to call everybody at City Council and City Hall. That might be happening. Well, then you have another person who's like, "Well, I'll just move out July. 1st of July. Well, who wants to move out 1st of July when July 4th is cookout party time? Not many people. Okay. So again, there's things that happen when you own businesses and you own systems. You have to keep checking on them. So part of all my calls today were to banks. Again, it's a small minority of people that really are doing it in our country. I'd say the top 25%, maybe 30%, are actually busy doing something, being productive in a day. So I literally hop on the phone. I call about 20 hard money folks out of Detroit. Two of them immediately say, "Hey, sounds good. Let me call your property manager and verify all the data you just sent me." So they're calling. They can't get a hold of him. I go, "Hey, I've got this new person I'm getting ready to have come on, and she's going to do A, B, and C." That's all good. I still want to talk to your original person. Now, of course, I finally get him on the phone. And he's like, "Well, just send me a letter." No, we're in an economy crunch. We're in a credit crunch. A hard money lender that's about to give me money to finish cleaning up a place to turn around and sell it in the next 90 days. Okay. Right? Yeah, I'm going to go watch the boot live. Live booting, live with the dumpster and all. So I'm like, "Hey, dude, they're trying to call you. You got to pick up the phone." Well, most people just send me a letter. It's not most people, and it's not most times. It's 2022. There's edges of the economy that are sliding, that are getting soft. They want to get with you on the phone. Why? Because Detroit is notorious for scamming, lies, deceit, bad paperwork. Yes, I'm about to cut you a check for 20 grand to finish this property, clean up and sell it, but I need to be on the phone with somebody. That's not hard to do, right? And many people say, well, why don't you just use 20K off your own credit cards? Because I won't put another damn dime out of my pocket into these properties that are pretty much 99% money going to go to investors, not me. Selling them, and I'm probably going to get maybe a 5% off the top. But there's one or two I might get 20% off the top. That's it. So I'm not putting any more of my money into it. I'm not going to get my money back. All right. So I'm calling and talking to hard money lenders. They're like, yeah, we got to get somebody on the phone. 2 seconds. We can't get your guy on the phone. No, dude, this is where paperwork is important. You haven't updated the paperwork in the system. So now they don't take my word for it because it's 5 months of no paperwork. And then they can't get you on the phone. So it makes it look suspect for everybody. This is the economy we're in. The market is so small that when I got on the phone with another person out of Detroit, they're like, oh, I know that person. Oh, yeah, I totally know Asia. I've seen her in the news. Oh, I've never heard of that person. Or I do know this person. It's this small, y'all. Bigger Pockets has like 1.2 million people on it. And out of that 1.2 million people, I'm starting to believe only 300,000 are really doing anything. The other 1.2 million just want to talk about real estate. The other 800,000 just want to talk about real estate because it makes them feel good, makes them feel smart. But pretty much only 300,000 are doing something. So much so that 2 or 3 people out of Detroit said, hey, where are you at? What property? I might be able to lend you on that. Let me see your documents. Y'all, that's how small it is. Even one of the hard money lenders I was on the phone with, we were talking for like a good 10 minutes. Hey, what are you doing? I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to build this new construction in Florida. I'm just trying to get this done, get on out of here. But oh man, I know 2 people in the Tampa market. Here's their phone number. Give them a call, tell them I sent it. It's small, y'all. It's a small world. Very small. Okay. When it comes to people who are really taking action and really doing things. So much so, when I started talking about, I went to Florida this past weekend. You guys saw me in Tampa, saw me in St. Pete. I started talking to certain lenders, hard money lenders, working with different people. Guess what happened? Someone who had been shitting me and basically yanking my chain for a year saw I was in Florida in a very small circle of people. People that are doing it know other people that are doing it. So much so that they were like, hey, let's get this resolved really quickly. Now I try to get it really resolved quickly today. Couldn't get it resolved really quickly. We're going to see if they do right tomorrow. Because if not, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to file a police report. Simple as that. We're done playing nice. We're done. It's too small of a circle. One of the people I'm having to sue this summer, people in Houston are not going to like it. I've already talked to 2 people that are like, I went to look for a lawyer in a certain segment. Hey, I know them. Why can't y'all sit down and talk this out? We've tried. And this is why I keep telling y'all the circle of people doing it is small. I can't run anywhere. I can't go anywhere. That's why I tell people, oh man, if somebody ever says, accuse me of scamming or running off of money, you can't go anywhere. The circle of people actually doing anything is this big. It's this big. It's this damn big. It's a small circle of people truly doing it. When I tell you that 90% of YouTube videos don't even get 1,000 views. So once you get 1,000 views, you're in the top 10% of YouTube. I mean that. Right? I've gone places and people are like, oh yeah, I've seen your channel before. How? I only got 60,000 subscribers. You got 300,000. It's a small space of people truly doing it. Okay? So same thing when I'm talking about hard money lending. Then one of the hard money lenders today threw me on the phone and told me about a small bank here in Texas. Guess why? His cousin is a banker at the small bank here in Texas. I go, hey, look, dude, this is what I'm trying to do. Build new construction down there. I've already got skin in the game in Florida. I've already got a hard money lender closing that deal in Florida. Would you like to help me close this deal in Detroit so I can get it done? Hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. I can do this amount of unsecured, but I can't do that much more. I said, okay, I appreciate that. Appreciate it. I'll come in tomorrow. Why? You can look on my LinkedIn. You can look on my phone numbers. You can look on my Stripe payment history. You can look at my Stripe loans, historical multiple loans. You can look at my data for years. I have documentation out the yam. There's only so many people really doing it. And I know y'all be like, well, man, I wish she'd make better quality, better audio, better camera. Listen, I don't give a shit about that. I don't. The people that are wanting the super cool, fancy stuff, Cool. If I was a fitness person or a travel person, I'd understand it. But I'm talking about economics. I'm not talking about dating, relationships, any goofy shit. I'm talking about economics. I'm telling you what's happening. And when you really are serious and you get on the phone, the circle of people doing it is this big. So you can't run away from bad deals because people say, hey man, did you take care of that bad deal you had? Oh man, I'm closing up that bad deal right now. That's how small the circle is. That's how small the circle is. That you can't go too far outside the deal. And here's the craziness. Even the people that people are like, well, that person's scamming, that person's doing bad business. If they've got their own credit cards, if they've got their own credit cards and their own business financing, they don't ever go out of business. We said it again, they don't ever go out of it. If you've got enough money to buy a land lot, you can go down to Macon, Georgia right now, get you a 3K land lot, start paying the fees and assessments to get it shaped up to what kind of house you want to build on it. Cost you about another 5, 10K. There's a bank, there's a lender, there's a hard money lender, there's a private equity person who will work with you. Why? Because so few people are doing anything that if you're moving, people like a moving train. I went to my accountant's the other day. We had to review like 15 items. I said, I've already typed up and printed out a list of the items I want reviewed. He immediately looked at the list, said, let me go back in my office. I said, that's right, because I'm already ready. I know what you need to have done and what order it needs to be done in. I'm not one of these yokels that's like, I'm just running a business. I don't even know what to do. Yada, yada, yada. No. Can't be smart and stupid at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm sitting here telling you about small banks, I'm sitting here telling you about hard money lenders. I'm telling you that, funny thing somebody said, I saw it go viral. There's a woman called Glenda Baker. I'm going to go try to meet her in Atlanta somehow, some way this year because the circle's so small. I'm pretty sure I can find somebody who knows her who can get me to meet her in person. Even if I have to like do a podcast interview or something, I'll figure it out, right? Because she literally is the epitome of a seasoned professional who's in her 50s, just recently divorced, and is like the number one real estate agent in all of the United States or something, in the top ones, right? Right? To that extent. And she's like someone's southern white auntie. And she's just talking common sense and experience. And what y'all don't understand is these people with experience, what recession? Even when 2020 happened, 50% of agents weren't really making no money, no way. Now it's concrete that like 80% of agents weren't making any money. Top 10%. She's in the top 1% of 1%. Why? Because today I had a call with one of our great meetups this past weekend, and great guy out of Phoenix. Once you start building a certain level of offline experience and offline fame, not this internet fame, once you pull in and tie in a little bit of internet fame to your experience, it's a wrap. Leads will come to you every day, all day. What is something people struggle with? Putting their name on the side of their trucks, wrapping vehicles. There's a vehicle of a guy who created a beverage. Like I ended up talking to him because of his vehicle was wrapped. He had like a little van life looking thing wrapped in this company. I said, man, when did you start this trip? What company is this? Where do you work from? He's like, it's mine. The level of wrapping on this truck, I thought it was a big time dealer, drink company. I'm like, holy crap, dude, this is great. You're gonna make a killing. He's like, yeah, I love driving this thing. We get so much sales. When I sit here and tell you, if you got your trucks wrapped, you got a vehicle wrapped, you go out there and you do good work, or you have your signage and yards once you do it, the circle of people doing it is so small. It's so small, y'all. I can go on Bigger Pockets right now and dial up almost every single person, and there's only like 2 out of 100 that are really doing something. Will be like, hey, let me get this person on the phone. Let me get this contractor in your hand. Let me get this person over there to check your property. Let me connect you to this insurance person. Part of why I had a dude come on for when we talked about insurance adjusters, insurance claims adjusters, and I had him on the channel. And people were like, well, is he still doing it? Is he still doing it? He is so fucking famous in Florida. He has his Hummer truck. It's not a Hummer truck. What is it called? A Jeep truck wrapped with his face and all that stuff. He works in multiple states. He has agents underneath him. When you start getting the real life experience meets the internet fame just a little bit, he on the internet like that. His face is on his vehicle, his number, his all that stuff. Again, insurance claim adjusters, real estate agents, appraisers. It's a small circle, baby. That's why I say all these agents that y'all worried about. Most of the agents that I know own real estate, multiple properties at this point. They're fine. They're in their 20s and 30s. They're fine. It's the agents that own nothing that I'm worried about. It's the agents that are just part-time that are going to have a rough day. Circle of business is small, y'all. And that Glenda Baker person, I'm telling you, just because of the level of experience she has, she's out here talking, educating, conferences. She'll be fine. Number one agent in the United States, she'll be fine. There's a couple people that are, it's called the top 1% of agents, whatever the name of the group of people that are top performers. But that's just it. Y'all don't understand. So many people do bare minimum work. Bare minimum. That literally it lead the person that's pushing, and then they have other people underneath them pushing them up, become like top 1%ers. It's not hard to see. And so when you talk about recession, people are like, oh man, Erica, the recession. I start laughing because I go, people that can still hire one or two people because you know the nature of people, are they lazy? They'll be fine. They'll be fine. So again, prime example, Zillow. People are like, man, Zillow, ha ha ha, Zillow bought all these houses and now they're stuck, ha ha, trying to sell all these houses. Zillow's not going anywhere. See, you missed the past previous years of Zillow where they were just collecting data, collecting agent data, collecting people's data. Data is money. Let me say that again. Data is money. When we finished our taxes, our phone rings off the hook 10 times a day with companies trying to give us money. And well, do you need it for this business? Do you need it for that business? How can we help you? And I go, you can't help me right now. I don't need it particularly right now. I need it for new construction. Oh, I know a friend who can hook you up with new construction funding. Right? Because the circle's so small. Right? They're calling the same people. It's a very small world and they want that referral money. Literally had a guy come back, hey man, I see you quit using the truck gas cards. Is there anything I can do to convince you to use our truck gas cards? I said, dude, we haven't used those in 2 years. What are you talking about? Yeah, we see that. We're just trying to see how we can earn your business back. That's how crazy and how small the circle is. That you're calling customers from 2 years ago who haven't used your product in 2 years. That's how small the circle is. When I want to go, I'm trying to set up towing a truck out of Florida. One dude's like, look, we need the work. We've got a load coming already out of there for multiple days, right? For, it's already on the part of their schedule. I'll pick your truck up and ling it on the back of these two trucks, back of this other truck. You tow trucks as an extra with a discount. I said, oh, wow, that's amazing, dude. Thanks for that. But it's only because they know there's very few companies that are really doing it. Very few. This is a hiccup in time. I want y'all to be diligent. I want you to be aware the evictions are still coming. Okay? The reason I'm literally had to call dogs and ask for a special. I'm like, dude, I'm using your product on 3 different houses coming up this week. Can't you cut me a deal? Well, technically, yeah, we can cut you some. Let me see what I've cut 24% off. You know who I talked to? The actual owner of the company. That's how small some of these companies are. That the actual owner of the company that works across multiple states was on the phone. Because why? I'm a consumer that needs 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3 doors done. And again, what did I tell y'all about people who own 3 homes? What did I tell you? The top 1% own 3 homes or more. To be a top 1%er, you just got to own 3 homes. When Bernie Sanders bought his 3rd home, people were like, oh my God, Bernie Sanders he's went to the dark side. Bernie Sanders had a little raggedy farmhouse and then a lake house and then this other house. And they were calling him 1%. But that's how low the bar is in America. That if you own 3 homes, you're in the 1%. We have a huge percent of people who have 2nd homes, a vacation rental, a vacation timeshare, but not enough people own 3. Right? Earlier, Glenda was talking about if you don't need to sell the 1st home to get the 2nd home, don't do it. Time. has shown you the power of keeping the first house, the equity, the appreciation. But that's the nature of people. People are like, how can I quickly take a few dollars out of this one home and get over here and do this? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out how to do that. Exactly. Again, Quentin, I'm trying to tell people Zillow's not going anywhere. 7 out of 10 people who purchased a home in the past, I think 7 years, were registered with Zillow. 7 out of 10. How many agents? See, there was a while where Zillow was working with agents and getting agents deals and contracts and calls. So all these agents, thousands of agents across all of America, were signing up with what? Zillow. Spending data money with what? Zillow. Out of all of them, Zillow's going to stay here because they have data. And they said, well, what about all those homes they bought, Erica? All Zillow was going to do is round those up in a package and sell them to a BlackRock, sell them to those family offices we've been telling y'all about. It'll be fine. The data is what was important. The data Zillow has over everybody else is why they will not go anywhere. Redfin, I think, is cutting 1,000 employees, and then also lost like $1 billion. Like huge debt, because they're all playing second fiddle to what? Zillow. Zillow was the first and has the data. Okay. So again, when I sit here and get on the phone and call 20 hard money lenders, half of them know each other. Hey, well, we don't do that street over there, but they do this street. That's how niche down he knew when I told him the street and the zip code. Oh, wait, we don't do that street, but this guy over here I know does that street. It's that small. It's that small. People really doing it. All right. So when you feel the need to want to get angry or go crazy on Instagram, remember, it's a small number of people that are really doing it and that are watching you. Very small number. 20% of people do 80% of the work, but even works deeper down, 20 to 80. Yeah. 5% of those people do 50% of the, yeah, I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it. I am currently fighting lenders for pre-approval letter, but the real lenders are fighting me instead. It happens. It happens. Big city condos, I don't. What's my thoughts on? I have none. No. There's no thoughts on them. Because they're just worthless. Like right now, just to kind of get y'all to understand how small some circles are. We had 10,000 cows die of a heat wave in Kansas City. Well, in Kansas, not Kansas City. Now, I ain't never heard of that. I've heard a couple hundred, maybe 300, but 10,000 cows died of a heat wave. Suspicious. So I'm always going to be big on home ownership, having land, being able to grow food, being able to have a deep freezer in your house, being able to do other things. Why? House, all roads lead to real estate. And long term, you guys will see more and more what happened in LA right now. The past 2 years, actually, 2.5 years. A bunch of these crypto people that made a big splash, all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, immediately drained their accounts about 3 months ago. A lot of them were buying $1 million homes in LA. Why? Because real estate, long-term real estate, it's a real asset. It's a hard asset. It's tangible. People say, what if it's a crash? It's not going to be a crash. But let me just put it to you like this. If you have $1 million and I cut it in half, you're still at $500,000. But if you at 250 and I cut you in half, now you're down to 125. Oh, that hurts. If you're working a job and you're making 50K a year and I cut you in half, now you're at 25K, you're in poverty. If you're working a job and you're at 200,000, I cut you in half to 100,000, it sucks, but you're still alive. I promise you. You're doing just fine. And what people don't understand in this economy as it's moving and shifting around, a lot of you are sitting at $65,000, $70,000, and you need to finish bumping up whatever skills you want, whatever skills those are, to get you to 100, 125. If you can't get 125 out of this economy, where it was roaring for the past 7 years, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This is the best time for you to slide into some of these companies. Again, one of David Carroll Value Entertainment's, his biggest complaint was he would move people up. They would request a raise at work. Hey, I need to be paid 80K, 90K. I'm doing this job really hard. I need to be paid 90K. And he'd give it to them. They would immediately go on LinkedIn and go, hey, I make 80K a year doing this role. I got this many years of experience. And they would get hired by another company. Happens often. It's not rare, right? So it's assessed value is what I want you to understand is a lot of you out here staying at the same company forever and then can't realize why you never get a raise more than 3%. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, right? You do really good work or you're a really good salesperson, someone is poaching you. I promise you. Most salespeople right now, there's a ad that comes on YouTube, and the guy's like, "Hey, we can guarantee you getting into sales positions that make you $100,000, $500,000 a year." It's a YouTube ad, but I know what he's doing. He's working with a lot of these companies all over the United States, and in HVAC, construction, repair, whatever, and getting them the best salespeople he can find off the internet, or at least people that are trainable. You dig? You know, DJ Cadillac, that's one way to do it. You just gotta have somewhere to park them. I don't be hustling that hard. I usually am. I've rested some. The past 21 days have been kind of crazy. But literally today we did 75 phone calls, and I did them because I literally had to. One and two, we were playing this tic tac toe game of like, hey, I sent you this data. Did you get this data? Hey, I got this data. Would you do this? Hey, I called 20 hard money lenders in Detroit. Hey, can you guys do this? Hey, oh, Erica, we got to charge you this $650. It don't cost $650 to clean an apartment. I can go call 10 cleaning companies right now and get you for 100. So let's stop playing these games. Oh, well, we meant the contractor needs to change the keys, change the locks, also drain the basement, snake the basement. Oh, is he a plumber? No, he's just a handyman. Okay, well, he still needs to send an invoice that's detailed. So what happens is people think you have this cushy life where you're chilling all day, but not realizing it's tedious. You're basically having to herd people like cats to make them do their job. And that's what I did all day. And I'll have to do it again tomorrow. I had it bullet point, write it out. Went to my accountant. Hey, every one of these things on this list better be done. 1 through 20. He looked at it, realized he didn't have it done, had to take it back in the office. I said, this is insane. I know how detailed this needs to be, and you need to have it done. And that's the problem. We work in a society where most people are doing 75, if maybe 65% of their work. They're bare minimum at work. And the circle of winners is so small that, again, I can call up a bunch of places and people know who I am. Look me up. Google me as they're talking to me on the phone. It's a small world. It's a small world. You can't get away with a lot of stuff. Melby, yes and no. I mean, some of the stuff I'm looking for is in Zanzibar. We'll check it out when we go over there again. Um, I own a little bit of it's like a little tiny acre of farmland underneath a cacao farm, but that's it. At the end of the day, my biggest thing is I think it's the most valuable is America because it's easiest, the system we have and the property rights we have. You can watch plenty of videos right now of people who bought land in Mexico, but because it's near a beach and that area is getting popular, Mexico's taking their land back. You just can't, there's some things you can't fight in some places. Yeah. Big data industry pays 125K entry level data science, data engineering, machine learning entry level, make big money. Yeah. Yes and no. You have a lot of change going on. No worries, no worries, no worries. But yeah, that's the big thing. You know what I mean? I want y'all to understand that like it's a small circle. It's a small circle of people really doing it. And so when you run into them and you get them on the phone, value their time. Value their time because they all know each other. They all know each other. It's a very small circle. Um, but that's part of why I want y'all to I talk about evictions. I talk about banking. A lot of these people are slow walking these evictions because they're still making money from the city to get payments for rent assistance. Again, I told y'all this before that so much rent assistance is just still sitting. Oh, I gotta stamp the paperwork. Oh, somebody downtown's gotta fix the paperwork. So the apartment complexes are slow walking these evictions. And so people are kind of paying their rent on time. Some people are not. Some people are still in that gray area. But don't worry, when they get the last of the money they can squeeze out of that rental assistance, the last couple millions, they're gonna kick y'all out. That's the first thing the new property manager told me. She said, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get the CERTA in Detroit for everybody, every property. Then the second month we're gonna kick them all out. We're gonna start the eviction process. And I just want you guys to think, you guys got to be really smart about this stuff. You just got to pay attention. They're gonna milk all the assistance they can out of this. Here's the thing, and I hate to tell you this. I think you're listening to the hype machine too much, baby. America is the golden ticket. I did a video on this. I'll probably have to do another video. America is the golden ticket. We're the clean shirt out of the batch of dirty shirts. People can come to America and in 2-3 years be a millionaire. You ain't doing that in Russia. You ain't doing it in Europe. You're not doing it in the UK. You ain't doing it in Singapore. You ain't doing it in Asia. You ain't doing it in Vietnam. You're not doing it in Mexico. You can come to America in 2-3 years, be a millionaire. If that, depending on your level of hustle. It's one of the easiest countries to make money. One of hands down the easiest. The problem is we have too many Americans who are fucking lazy. They don't work hard. They don't invest their money. I read this guy. There's a video going viral of this guy crying. It's a big black guy. He's crying. He's like, life shouldn't be this hard. And I feel sorry for the brother. I mean, it sounds terrible, right? Exactly. No papers, no working friends, right? I feel sorry for the brother. I really do. And but when you read the comment section, it's full of like, oh, it's so hard. You make money, you can't. And if you ask all those people how much do they make, how much do they invest a month, do they own their own home, you already know the answer. Most of them ain't doing none of that. When my parents was growing up, they could go on vacations, get drunk every weekend, have a cookout every weekend. They didn't have to work this hard. And so we have a country of people who are going to be living together, cuddled up, because financially they have to. Do you know what I'm saying? They have to. They don't got no choice. They don't got no choice because financially they can't make it by themselves. That's what you're going to start seeing. You see it already. I mean, there's plenty of people who I feel sorry for them. I watch TikTok and they're bothering their husband and he looked like, girl, if I could get the hell away from you. Sorry, it's terrible. But you're already going to start seeing that in some places. You really are. Because there's a plethora of people who, I don't want to work that hard. I'm tired. I've got kids. They got all these excuses for just about everything. They're going to find an excuse for everything. They know that the economy is getting rough. We're not in a recession because it hasn't hit all 5 factors, which is because unemployment, GDP, retail, manufacturing, and some other stuff. But we feel it, right? We all feel it. I was at the pump the other day. I just swiped the car, went in there, pulled the pump, and sat down. And this guy was like, "Oh, look at you, big baller!" And I looked up, and I was like, "This is a mid-size SUV. This ain't no damn tank." like, who cares, right? But there are some people who have to sit there and hold the pump. $25, $30. That's a tough place to be in. And it ain't gonna get no easier. I want you to understand the cost of grain and feed and all this stuff to feed all these animals is going through the roof. And who's gonna feel it the most? It's the poor guy or girl who's now trying to buy food at the store and it's expensive. Person trying to buy gas and it's expensive. That's who's gonna be hurt. Not the rich person who's, again, I put in a post on Instagram. I said, CSA, make sure y'all get on CSA. Do you know I had at least 50 people say, what's a CSA? They got a damn Google right at their fingertip. And they asking me, community supported agriculture? If you don't know where your local farmers market are, where your community supported agriculture is, you have no clue of these things. You don't have excess water and things stored up in your apartment. You don't have excess food. I feel sorry for you. Everybody I know that's back in North Carolina got 2-3 deep freezers in their house and in their garages and in their extra areas. Stacked to the brim with food. Bought whole cows. Divided up among family members. This is my biggest argument. People's like, oh, I love apartments. I'm going to live downtown in these tiny apartments. Where are you going to store excess stuff? Excess supplies. Where are you going to store it? You don't have nowhere to store it. All right? Not the place I want to be. No, thank you. Oh, thanks. So again, you talk about banking. You talk about evictions. Oh, Wells Fargo's bad. Bank of America bad. You've known that for years. You know that for years the money ain't with Wells Fargo. It ain't with Bank of America. The stuff they're going to ask you for, really what they're going to do is ask you for 3 years of paperwork and then still say no for some random reason. But you go over here to some of these hard money lenders. Hey, let me get on the phone. Let me call you. Let me call your mama. Let me call your cousin. Let me call your property manager. All right, out here's 20K. Here's 40K. Let's get these properties done. And this is your time frame. And you have to make monthly payments. But that's the problem. People, that's too hard, Erica. I actually got to go look on the computer and call people and actually prove that I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. Yeah, that's what you got to do. So again, don't worry. These evictions are still walking it down. Banking's going to get tightened. I had to tow a truck, which I'm still waiting to finish doing that paperwork. We're going to see how much that's going to cost because gas is going up. The guy said, if I tell you like this, girl, let's take this truck over here down to this shop, let them get it halfway fixed, and then you limp it back to your state. I said, that's a damn shame. But that's probably the best answer. He said, my niece complains about being broken. Now she going to Mexico next week. You already know, John. That's how they do. They gonna treat themselves. Always, always. Again, here's the thing. If you have money, you have a job that lets you work remote, go ahead and go overseas. I would say visit a couple of different ones first. Because you got to remember, overseas always don't have reliable internet. I keep it less than 100 pounds of chicken. Listen, congrats, Mark D. Listen, you can go return. You can go, listen, you can go anywhere you want, baby. Anywhere you want. I want you to understand what's going to happen for America's future. If you have $2 million in the Southeast, you're going to have maid service, nannies, and everything else. I promise you. That's why people don't understand. America is the one place where, we kind of have this, hey man, I'll make 50K, I got my own house, got my own this. In every other society, and for as long as you can remember it, people used to have that extra sister that wasn't married. She kind of was a spinster and she helped with the kids, or you live near family and grandparents and extra people were always helping with the children. We live in a society now where everybody kind of lives in a house by themselves or just their one family, unless they're immigrants and they have multiple people living there. And so it's going back to the way it was before where, hey, I really need money, I'll babysit people's kids, or I'll be a nanny at somebody's house during the day while they work, or whatever, right? I know two girls who have nannies and they work from home. They just need to focus on their jobs, right? I know girls who have nannies who don't work any jobs. They need a break when they need a break, right? And so it depends on what the income level is, right? And that's what the complaints people are having in America is like, it costs so much to make it. And it's like, no, it doesn't cost that much to stand out a bit. It doesn't really. It really doesn't. Like a lot of these houses out here, people were buying out here in Austin off on this river were like $750,000. And now they're like 3 and 4 million because of inflation and different things, but they weren't that much, not even that long ago. Why? Because the city of Austin doesn't service the river. It was where poor white trash lived. They didn't give them trash service. They didn't give them electric. They didn't give them nothing. They're like, oh, y'all want to live down there on that river? We ain't paying for that. Well, then guess who? And you don't have to pay property taxes too. Well, guess who moved there? Because they were like, wait, you don't have to pay property taxes? Rich people moved up and down the river, bought out all the poor people, almost all of them. There's still some junk spots down there, which is interesting. And they live on the river. No taxes. Go look it up. This is in Austin, Texas. No property taxes. They don't get no trash services. You have to find. They have trash companies that service those little areas, but they live on the river, on the water, paying no property taxes. So again, it's one of these things where people see more what they want to see. That's all. That's y'all. I know everybody has this dream that they're gonna go live in France. They're going to go live in Italy. They're going to go live in Bolivia. They're going to live in Croatia and live the dream of overseas. And I always go, okay, anywhere you move in the next 2 years, you have to spend 2 years really getting invested in that community. Going to meetups, going to events, going to volunteer, getting in that community. Anywhere you go, no matter if it's overseas or here. That's all. I lived in Netherlands and experienced lousy internet. That's why when you see people overseas, they're always outside, enjoying the air, walking the park, smoking the cigarettes because they don't have internet. Well, congratulations. That's basically what attracts people here. Majority of people are waiting on constant handouts. And this is what's going to happen, y'all. I mean, I want you to understand there's 416 people here. Hit the like button. When I talk about banking, when I talk about being a forward moving person, the people who have businesses and they have higher level skills are going to be doing this. Economy's going to be looking crazy. They're going to be doing this. People down here, low skill, low stuff, they're going to be like, oh my God, it's the economy. Oh, meats and tobaccos and chickens and taxes. I saw this video of this guy the other day. They clearly rented a boat from some older dude. And then they shook a bottle of champagne trying to show off for the gram. And the old white dude went off. He said, hey, didn't I say act like you've been somewhere before? Don't shake that $1,000 champagne on those cushions. And I mean, I'm laughing. Everybody's like, oh, it's a bunch of young black people renting this boat from this guy. And I laugh because I'm like, that's America. That's people, they're fronting on a boat like we're gonna shock the champagne. The guy already told you not to do it. That's most Americans. We tell you, hey, this is how you should get these steps to be wealthy. No, I ain't trying to do that. Hey man, you should probably get a trade or something so you can have some security in your job. No, I ain't trying to do that. You should buy a house, man. No, I ain't trying to buy no house. This is what the world we're living in. And they already know you don't got no food stored up, you don't have no reserve cash, you don't have no guns. A lot of people don't have guns. That's why you see instances where people are road raging, cutting up on them, and they can't do anything. They're like, oh my God, he's yelling at me. I can't do anything. Girl, pop, pop, pop. Run up on this window and get shot, okay? That's why you saw some of the people with the crypto stuff. They didn't have real money. They had crypto. It crashed. That's all the cash they had in this world of theirs, and they unalived themselves. In California, and Chicago, and New York, they had multiple stories of people who had these ridiculous accounts off of $100 that they put in Luna, and now it was millions of dollars. And now, when it went to zero, they unalived themselves because they don't have real skills. They don't have real talent. They don't have real trades. I was just on the phone earlier with somebody, and we were talking about, man, if everything go left, I know how to do A, B, C, D, F, G. Hey, I got an A+ certification. I got this certification. I got this. I mean, we good. And we were laughing. We were literally laughing. Like, if everything crashed tomorrow, guess what I'm going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And we were laughing. Most people don't find that funny. The thought of losing everything makes people actually want to unalive themselves. And I'm using that word correctly because YouTube will tag the video. Okay. And so you have people who sit here trying to play you on the internet, like, look at my clothes, look at my hairdo, look at my kids, when all the people I know in the well-to-do neighborhoods, they're bartering. They're bartering. Like, this girl's like, oh, girl, I don't buy nothing. We get bikes, shirts, everything for me. Look at next door. That's why when people act like wealthy people have, there's some poor black girl who has bought her baby like 1,000 pairs of shoes or 300 pairs of shoes. And he ain't even 2 yet. And I was like, in the video I was watching, I was like, she's dumb. Don't you know these people don't be buying these baby shoes like that? They be bartering. They be taking it to the high-end thrift store. They be selling it on next door. Because it's small temporary stuff. But again, that's where we are. We have a bunch of Americans who have nothing prepared, nothing saved. That's why I can go and call 20 hard money lenders in Detroit, and every single one of them knew who the hell Asia was. They knew where them properties were. They knew what street they were on. They knew the zip code. Oh, baby, I don't do over there, but I know my friend does over there. They could call me and tell me, hey, I got a friend in Florida who can give you some hard money. Because the circle of people really doing it is small. Not because we're forcing other people not to be in the circle, but it's just small. It's small. There's several people that's called me like, man, Eric, I went and stopped by Frost Bank. I went by this other bank you said, and they gave us money. I go, yeah. Because the circle of people really doing it is small. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. It's an auto shop owner who put all his cash on his balance sheet, and Luna lost it all. There you go. That's one of them. There's like 10 stories they did on CBC News and on Fox Business. And I'm like, y'all better chill out, man. That's that lottery mentality. Hold on, y'all got a lot here that happened. I'm sorry. Yeah, the dude was like, each cushion costs $1,000. They were treating us properly in Norseback. Yeah, HVAC and certified barber. That's right. Listen, we're in the process of starting a haul-away business. Listen, junk gonna be real. It's gonna be a big business. There's always junk to be hauled away, and a lot of hoarder homes. Exactly. People, and this is okay. So let's go there. Let's go there, guys. Let's go there. When you have a child out of wedlock and isolated, and all your friends are 19, 20, young, you don't have people to barter with. This is why when you go to certain churches and certain groups, they put you in like, hey, all our kids are 1 year old. Let's be friends, mommy friend groups. That's why we have play dates. This was a big thing when I was talking to my sister. I was like, hey, you need to be setting up play dates with people. She's like, oh, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody with a little kid like mine. And this comes from planning, social planning, right? My friend asked me something like, don't Black women stay home with their kids? Well, do all Black women go to work, when their kids are born? And I said, what? I had to listen to him say it again. And I realized, I said, listen, honey, majority of the white women you're meeting are married, so they can stay home with their kid. Common sense says the math of daycare is so astronomical, you should stay home. But not everybody's married or in a good situation. But there is a rise on Instagram and TikTok of these Black stay-at-home moms. And I'm like, yes, sis, make your money. Stay home. Invest in your child. What did we learn from the pandemic of 2020? All these children were reading and walking at levels they've never seen before. Why? Because their mom had to actually be home with their baby and hold it and talk to it and walking around the house. Okay, that's why. So again, when you have play dates and friends in the same age groups, and you're married and you have a community and you live in a house and not an apartment, you know, you have people to barter with. Yeah, that's kind of how that works. But people do stuff out of order. Yes, in my upper middle class neighborhood, people are selling, trading the baby bougie ass outfit. Yeah, all that stuff. And that's what people don't understand. Like in poorer neighborhoods, people aren't telling people what they got at the house. No, no, no. Homeschool myself for 2 years. Yeah, there you go. Instead of homeschool my son for 2 years upon graduation, instead of going to college, I made him get an HVAC certification. He now makes $1,000 a week at the age of 19 years old. Guess what? By 25, he'll probably be married. I'm not trying to be funny, but there was a couple at the event we just had in Tampa, Florida. Young, maybe 28, maybe 29, maybe, I don't know, but they were young. And there was a guy like, yeah, marriage isn't for men. Sat on the bus and I started laughing because half the men in there were like, what the f- are you talking about? And there was a young couple there that's married, young. They've been working. They have their money together, and they can start building houses. They're gonna be hella. They're gonna be hella wealthy. By 35, they're gonna be just on vacation, yacht life. By 5 years from now, perfect. So when you have people on the right path, the number one issue we have in our community is we don't. Nobody's telling you to get on the money path. No one's telling you to get a certification. Oh, just follow your dreams. Don't go to college. College is debt. Maybe go in the military. Don't tell you what to go in the military for. Don't tell you what to study for in the ASVAB. At least you ain't in college just partying and getting debt. That's the goofiest thing I've heard out of community all the time. All the time. So congratulations. Glad your son got the HVAC. He's gonna be hella rich in about 5 years. Somebody said something about another stimulus and everyone started laughing. They should. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that Dogecoin guy. That's the thing. It's like a lottery ticket. They don't know when to let go. They have a gambling problem. That's what it is. Look, that's what I'm telling you. Listen, you telling me people are barter trading but not using gold? No way. This always happens. This is what's so funny to me in these upper neighborhood communities. They are bartering. I went to my friend's house. He had this cool little place in the backyard. I said, "This is cool. Where'd you get this?" Oh, our neighbors, their charter's too old for it, and we got it. Then I came back. They had another place. I said, "Man, where'd you get this one?" Oh, somebody was having a yard sale. We got it for like $100. I said, "This is $1,000 play set with swings and climbing mountainside mountain and all kind of stuff on it. This is $1,000 play set." Oh yeah, we got it for 100. We just had to haul it away. And this is the stuff that's when people tell me, oh, it's so hard, it's expensive for kids. No, it's not. You don't know anybody. You're not in community with anybody. You're not in a church. You're not in a community. You don't have play dates. You're isolated on an island. And then you're complaining about the cost of childcare and the cost of things because you're not doing it right. Erica, you're being so harsh. I'm just telling you. How was I able to get on the phone with all these people and be directly on my phone calls? They were like, man. I was like, do you do A, B, C for hard money? Do you do A, B, C? Do you take it this credit score, this amount of money? What's your points? What's your application fee? Here's where my property is. Here's all the data you need. Done. He's like, man, most people don't have their stuff together. Literally, one of them had an autoresponder on from yesterday. I had reached out yesterday, and he was out. He wasn't there. He was gonna be in office today. It auto responded me today, like, hey, don't forget your application. I said, we already did all that. He said, yeah, that's the autoresponder because so many people forget their paperwork. How you calling people for money and forget your paperwork? How you calling people to work with them and don't got your paperwork? That's what they're dealing with as a hard money company. People who need the money and are in construction and forget the paperwork. That they so much so that they got to put an autoresponder on to remind you to send the paperwork. It's hard. It's hard when people are late. That's why I say the PRC. Yeah. Congratulations. There you go. Yeah, all my recent designer stuff was bought off a YouTuber I follow. Congratulations. I'm always sitting safe. Always. I'm buying a broke down place. There you go. 2016, my wedding. Look. Oh yeah, I've already seen the thing about them finding gold in Uganda. That's why I said, oh, New Jackson, you better buy some land. They're about to get crazy over there. Don't let the teachers you hear you say kids are learning faster. Listen. And they've already said it. Studies showed it. They're like, wow, these kids are learning. Now there was a big swatch of kids who weren't learning because their mom was out there doing whatever and not paying attention, or she was working. I know people are like, don't be hard on moms. You can't talk bad about moms. Okay, whatever, dude. I'm just telling you, there's kids who are going to have what we call a gap year where they lost everything. They lost everything. They don't remember words. They're struggling, all that stuff because their mom wasn't doing anything. People don't want to hear that part though. They don't want to hear that part. All right, there's 428 people here. Again, this is just I want to do this show because I have 2 evictions going on in Detroit, three dog security doors going on in Detroit, on top of towing a semi truck, and dealing with scammers, dealing with people doing sketchy shit. I said something angry on Instagram earlier, and I'm not gonna take it down because I said it. I was very clear. That that people from Florida and people from Mississippi are always on some shit. The worst drivers I had, the worst incidents I had are people from Florida and Mississippi. Now, would New York and Atlanta be worse? Hell yeah. I put them 1 and 2, and then Florida's number 4 on that list. But that's the crazy part. It's like you meet good people in all places, and meet bad people too. There's just a high number in New York and Atlanta. I don't know what the problem is, but it's like a scammer hub. Let's do sketchy shit hub. There's parts of Florida like that too. Jacksonville got a lot of sketch. Parts of Tampa got sketch. And that's like, if y'all put half that energy into actually going in the right way, in the right direction, y'all would keep killing it. Y'all would be killing it because the circle of people actually doing it is so small. The reason the old boy, I'm not trying to say his name because I don't want that smoke, they're like, oh, he's teaching bank fraud. He's teaching bad stuff. He turned around and doubled, if not tripled, if not quadrupled down on his advertising, his podcast he went on, his interviews he did, doing positive media PR. And it's like it went away to the wayside. People stop talking about it. Because guess what? People who are originally in business for real, consistently hitting the hammer every day, they're in a different way. They're in a different way. You know what I mean? They're in a different lane. There you go. Barter, barter, barter. Those kids have moms that care. That's the biggest part. Listen, somebody was like, "Oh man, it's hard to buy land to build a house here. Oh, this land costs 100,000." I said, "Go on realtor.com. Go an hour outside of your city and type in land. Go an hour outside your city and call me back and tell me how it looks." I literally find 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 acre lots all the time for pennies on the dollar. That's the thing. Everybody wants to live. Um, everybody wants to live in the middle of the city, where the hotness is, where the zone is, where the party is, and that's unfortunate. So I really do. I really want to do a live eviction uh live stream, but I don't know how this person's gonna react. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm pretty much gonna fly to Detroit with my firearm at this point. Just for my safety, their safety. I know they have a pit bull in the house. I do know that part. Her boyfriend, she moved in the house as a pit bull. Um, I'm not playing, but I want to be there. I want to be there and be like, that's what you get, bitch. I was, I can sell all these properties and let you stay in it and let the next person have to deal with it because that's foul. And that's how somebody did me, leaving that last tenant in there so that tenant, that system starts over again where you're trying to get the same tenant out. Nah, I made sure. Oh, no, I'm not going to be alone. Sheriff's going to be there. The dumpster party people going to be there. We all going to be there. We going to be there. And I'm still gonna have people on it because they got a pit bull in there, and I don't want. If the shit look, the cop probably shoot the pit bull where I do. I'm not worried about it. Congratulations. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be safe. I'm just letting y'all know, like, people that are go getters are gonna be just fine. They're just gonna be just fine this coming up day because the circle of people who really doing it, the number of banks really doing it is so small. I'm just telling y'all today. I literally got on the phone. That guy was like, "Go over to this bank, go open up an account, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Damn." And it was because his cousin's a manager there, all the way in Texas. He's in Detroit, all the way in Texas. He has someone he knows and is connected to. The world of people doing it is so small. Yes, this is the nurse from 2019 finally getting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, she's not young, y'all. This is a professional person, right? They're so professional that the person that's named on the lease is not a person; it's a family member. So in this transaction, it went from her, the nurse, to a family member that's in this house that brought their kids and their boyfriend and their dog. That's how wild these people are. That's how out of control these people are. That it's a whole nother couple. It's not even the original person. It's not even there. I'm just telling y'all, that's how wild Detroit is as far as a culture, get over culture, hustle over people. It's not even her. Like when we went to the court was like, she literally, this is how bold this woman is. Came, "Oh, I'm not there. I let my cousin live there, and I didn't know she wasn't paying the rent." So you sublet illegally is what you did. But your name is still on the paper. So guess what? That is still going on your credit report as an eviction, regardless if your cousin's there or not. It's going on your credit report. Somebody's getting it. And you got to get up out of here today. You dig what I'm saying? That's that's how that's gonna roll. And listen, Azalea, I wish I could name it that. Y'all think I'm playing it. It's a culture. It's a culture. That's part of why I'm leaving. Because people are like, Erica, if 48% of all homes are bought in the Southeast, right? The people coming to Texas, coming to Florida, they can kind of be absorbed. But if you go to Detroit and you see everybody's getting over, why would you do right? You're going to fall in line with that culture because it's the stronger culture. You're going to work more in the gray area because that's the culture. I don't want to be in that area no more. I'm going to literally repair these two houses with this hardly loan, sell them bitches, and then the last two clean them up and sell them too, and get out of that market completely. 150%. You think I'm joking? Classic Climb Evictions. I mean, listen. There's plenty of eviction channels out here for that very reason, because people are out of control. They gotta go. Listen, this is the thing, daughter educated. All the people in these houses trying to fall under these new protection guidelines. No, get all the money you can from the government that owes you rental assistance, but get them out. Get them out, because they are going to try to ride the wave again. The United States has shown them, hey, it's okay. Don't pay your rent. Don't pay your mortgage. Stay longer. I'm still sorry people's property rights. Nah, you gonna get out, baby. Exactly. They sure did, to try to get the court to not put that stuff on their credit report, but it's going on there. Baby, it's going on there. They've embarrassed themselves. It's not even, for me, I'm not filming them, their person. I'm literally going to show you what the house looks like after years of them being in there, taking advantage, having a dog in there, all that good stuff. At the end of the day, people out here, you should be the bigger person, Erica. You should be more classy and more official than that. This is a person who is stealing from you. If a person came in your house every day and punched you in your face and took something out of your refrigerator and walked back out every month for 3 years, you wouldn't be like, be the bigger person. Jesus says turn the other cheek, Erica. Just turn the other cheek. It's okay. No. This person has had ample time to work, take their money, go somewhere else, go live somewhere else, go be somewhere else. They are a predator, and they will be handled as such. Period. Listen, come on, Kim Smith, tell them. It's the culture. It's the culture. It's like when somebody's from New York, like there was a guy on the trip in the Andes buys houses, and he was from New York, and he was so loud and aggressive and like energy on 10. Everybody's like, damn, man, calm down. But he was that stereotypical New Yorker. And you're like, dude, take it down a notch. It's okay. But that is the culture. I'm gonna overtalk you. I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna be over the top, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? That's the culture. But that's what I want y'all to understand. So look, that's what I have for y'all today. This is a very small circle. It's very few people doing it well at the top. It's very few people like seriously lending money. Even so, there's a guy here who sells directly to a hedge fund. Directly to a hedge fund. Right? So again, we're gonna clean them, sell them, get rid of them. Maybe a family office will buy them. Great. Get me out of Dodge. The only stuff I'm trying to buy, and I told y'all, excuse me, I told y'all this yesterday. I will tell you it again. I'm buying two. There's 2 land lots in Florida. I'm building a 3-2 in the front and an ADU in the back, which is an apartment over apartment. Airbnb and the whole thing. The value of them are going to be anywhere from $650 to $750 each one. So that's going to get me 1.2 million or 1.4 or 1.5 million. Taking 80% of that, even if the economy's terrible, and I'm taking 75% of it, cash out refi, I will have $1 million and some change. When it's all done, it's only going to take me about $250 to build them, each one. And hard money going to meet me halfway. Put a little bit in, hard money get you the rest of the way there. I just got to get enough for the 45K mark, then enough built in to get that extra 200K from the hard money lender. So I keep giving y'all the game. I'm telling y'all what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'm taking that $1 million. I have no personal debt. I only have business debt. Take half of that $1 million, knock out that business debt. Take the rest of that money, go put it in a beach rental in North Carolina and a particular rental here in Texas. And the amount of returns every month will get me close to about, I'd say 45,000, 50,000 a month, give or take. We'll talk about it a lot. So it is what it is. Derek White. It's funny Derek White's here. Derek, I was heading to the gym and my stomach got upset, so I sat down and did a video. You teach business and real estate. Filming it lets people know what's real if they want to get into it. Dealing with people isn't always pretty. It really isn't, and it's sad because she works. There's no reason for that. They work. Thank you for your super chat. But you guys, I do have to get out of here. Somebody's feeling a little bit better, so I'm gonna try to go walk on the treadmill. But you guys, you gotta understand, like, it's a small group of people doing it consistently. Very small group of people. And you want to be in that group. So when you call people, you want to talk to people, right? When you pick up the phone and you call Hard Money Lenders and you say, hey, I'm on this street, this street, this street. Oh, yeah, I know that street. Yeah. Or this guy can help you, or that person can help you. Have your paperwork together, have your documentation ready. There will be banking and funding for people who are put together and ready to go. That's what it is. I will probably list it. Maybe in the Rise of 20%, I'll do a whole kind of talk inside the group, but I don't have like a list. We can show you how to break down how to find them, but it's not hard. It really isn't. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.